Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me today in my free webinar on how to reduce anxiety and stress and ultimately to overcome insomnia. So we're going to talk today about, first of all, what is stress and anxiety, the effects it has on the body very quickly, typical symptoms of high anxiety, and the effects of stress in our lives and the lack of sleep. And then, of course, home treatments that you could do at home on your own without any type of herbal formula or any practitioner to help you. Okay, so first, well, I think we know what anxiety is, but we'll just quickly cover what contributes to it and what we associate with anxiety. You know, this is often we could say is unnecessary thinking. In Ayurveda, we would say it's like a vata or air in the head, where there's just too much lightness in the head. We're thinking too much and worrying too much, and things are going around too much in our brain. And also negative thinking. This also contributes to more stress and anxiety, a type of paranoia or worry. Grief and fear also are types of anxiety and nervousness. And of course, too much stimulation in our lives, too much activity, too much TV, too much movement, too much work, too many things happening in our lives, just too many tasks. And of course, chemical changes do take place in our brain that exasperate and are known to be factors in anxiety. And herbal treatments and other types of treatments are helping to adjust these chemical imbalances in the brain. And of course, the kidneys are producing cortisol and adrenaline, which is helping to manage our stress, but excesses can produce fatigue and even more stress. So what are the typical symptoms of excess stress in our lives resulting in anxiety? Heart palpitations. The heart is unsteady. This is one of the first signs. And of course, insomnia, which is really more of a symptom of this type of anxiety, or we say in Ayurveda, vata in the head, too much thinking, too much movement in the head, but also digestive issues. Some people will get loose stools and diarrhea when they're very stressed. Some people will become constipated. Many people lose their appetite. And of course, long periods of stress create a fatigue in the body. And then we have no energy in the day, and we often have a little extra boost of energy at night. And this is, of course, due to the poor kidney production of the adrenal glands of cortisol and adrenaline, which then comes out later in the day. So that fatigue in the day and then this extra boost in energy later in the day is a type of symptom of long-term stress, or we often call adrenal fatigue. So hopefully we can manage it before it becomes to the stage where we have this crash and this burnout, and we become immobilized and have chronic fatigue, and it has to result in rest and proper treatment for some period of time to recover. So we're assuming you're not that far down the road and you just want to manage your stress in your life, which we all have, and help to manage your anxiety and improve your sleep. That's what this is about. So let's just, if you have a pad of paper, I'd recommend that you start taking notes, and you can just start with 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll put 1 right at the top, and let's just say number 1 is remove all stimulants. That's right. Okay, write that right down so we don't forget. We don't want you stressing out later and thinking, what it was I supposed to write down? What were all those stimulants? Because we got more stimulants than you think are stimulants. And let's just do the obvious ones first. We know that coffee and caffeine is a stimulant. Green tea, black tea, these are all stimulants because they have the coffee in them. I would say even decaffeinated coffee is still not recommended, even though it has the lack of caffeine. There's many effects on the nervous system. There's a drying quality, a diuretic quality of caffeine, which isn't as bad when it's in a green tea form or mixed with other herbs. But still, if somebody's having anxiety, particularly panic attacks or definitely insomnia, then you want to cut these out. I know a lot of people say, well, I only have 1 cup in the day, but just like every other substance we consume, whether it's an opiumate or coffee or anything else, you know, or an herb, it's pumping through our system for a few days before it's really eliminated from the bloodstream. So if you have a coffee in the morning, it's still in you in the evening, and it accumulates over time. And so, you know, one coffee a day does have an effect. So you really want to leave that out. Now, of course, it's difficult for people who have chronic fatigue due to this type of adrenal exhaustion, because they've pushed themselves so much that they've burned out and crashed, and they actually feel that they need the coffee to keep going. So there's a catch-22 there. But the fact is, if you keep taking the coffee, it's kind of like whipping a tired horse. You know, the horse is tired, it's run too much, it hasn't had enough food, it's been overworked, and now you're whipping it. That's basically what you're doing when you're having a cup of coffee. So this may get you through the day, but you could end up killing the horse at the end of the day and have another breakdown or collapse. So you really need to find other alternatives. Of course, in the herbal world, it's quite simple. We just use adaptogen herbs like a ginseng, ashwagandha, and such that give you energy, but at the same time don't stimulate the nervous system. And you know, if you can mix these herbs with licorice and other herbs to help support the adrenal system and recover ultimately from that adrenal fatigue and still have energy. Elethro also is a very nice herb to help with this, and maybe just a little bit of green tea and elethro and some ginseng and licorice, ginger, peppermint, lemon balm, passion flower. These are nervines. These are passion flower, lemon balm. These are mild nerve settling types of teas that you can drink throughout the day and help you to settle the nervous system, and even help to counter the effects of having a little bit of green tea. But I would recommend that you completely eliminate coffee. Other stimulants that you may not be aware of are stimulants. And remember, we're still on point number 1. If you just joined us here, removing stimulants. Number 1 is to get rid of these stimulants, and we talked about coffee, green tea, black tea, so those are off. And next is other stimulants like chocolate, liquor, and sugar. These are all very stimulating for the body, particularly sugar. So all sweets, all sugars. You know, it doesn't mean you can't have fruits. You don't need to become radical and eliminate all fruits, and you don't need to eliminate stevia. You don't need to eliminate honey. You don't need to eliminate a little maple syrup here and there. But all these processed foods, these simple carbohydrates and white breads and biscuits and crackers and cookies and all of these things, even if they're naturally made, are a very poor way to support the body nutritionally, but they also stimulate the nervous system unnecessarily. And of course, having these instead of a meal is even more detrimental. I mean, if you had a whole meal and then had a little cookie afterwards with a little cane sugar in it or a little blackstrap molasses, it probably won't affect you too much. But if you have that biscuit and a cup of coffee for breakfast, then you can be sure that you're probably doing more harm to your nervous system than helping it. Other forms of stimulation, which we really don't think about, but of course we know are stimulating, is the TV and computers and all electronics. It's very important to remove these, particularly in a sleeping environment. To improve your sleeping environment, you really should improve the whole sleeping environment. And one of the first things you should do is remove all these electronics from the whole room. Any flashing lights, any alarm clocks that have lights on them, any computer equipment, cell phones, everything, just leave it out of the bedroom. And in fact, you could just turn the whole power switch off in your bedroom, and this would eliminate all electricity, because there's electromagnetic frequency just pumping right through the wall, and it could be right near your head. And some people are very sensitive and they feel this. People who are sensitive by nature, a Vata predominant person, children, babies. So a good test is just flip the circuit breaker off in your room and see if that affects your sleep. So that's, I would say, step 2. After you get rid of all the stimulants, and that includes, oh, I forgot the news. No bad news. Just don't worry about the news. Just worry about the news for your little town. We don't need to worry about the news for the whole world, particularly if it's affecting you adversely and you're thinking about it. And never have these stimulants like a chocolate or sugar or TV, you know, within an hour of bedtime. I mean, you should dim the lights. Even bright lights are a stimulant, and this is, of course, why one reason we have a lot of insomnia is because we even have electricity and bright lights. If we didn't have these bright lights, we'd probably be in bed much sooner. That's why if you go camping, you don't have any lights, you go to bed early and you sleep quite well. So eliminate all these stimulating things in your life, particularly an hour before bed, and really all day when it comes to things like coffee and sugar, liquor, and chocolate. Chocolate's very stimulating. There's other things as well. So number 2, if you're taking notes, number 2, write it down, is improve your sleeping environment, or even your living environment for that matter. And again, that means reducing down stimulating things. You don't need the TV going all the time in the background. You don't need unnecessary loud music or music with beats going on all the time in the background. And in your bed, you should always make the bed and the sleeping environment very conducive to sleeping. Even like I mentioned earlier, turning off the electricity, turning off of all electronics, flipping off the circuit breakers, this can be very good. And also your bed, you know, wired frame beds hold a lot more electronic magnetic frequency, and this can be disturbing as well. You're elevated off the ground, so you're not grounded to the ground. You're up on legs. Then you have a wire under you, which maybe there's electrical power running right next to it. And we all know we can measure electronic magnetic frequency off of 120 volts, and you know it has some width to it. It can be measured. So if your head is right near the headboard of the bed, and you've got wires running behind it, then you know this could be affecting you. So you can try moving the bed to the middle of the room. You can also try sleeping on the floor, and this also will ground you out. Even better, sleep on the ground. Again, going camping tends to solve a lot of these problems because we're grounded out, sleeping on the ground, and we can't stay up late at night. So going camping, sleeping outside is a good way to resync your cycle of melatonin and serotonin in the body and get back on track. Of course, you could just turn all the lights off in your house and just function with candles, and that would probably knock you out as well, because candlelight doesn't stimulate the brain adversely, just like any type of fire or flame doesn't stimulate your brain or signal to the brain that it's still daytime. But all the bright lights that we have, they mislead our brain into believing that, you know, it's still daytime, so the melatonin doesn't release. And of course, now what do? We just take melatonin. But in fact, if we turn off all the lights, dim all the lights, and make the environment nice, then our body will start to secrete the chemicals from our brain that will make us sleepy. But as long as we have the stimulation and we have this bright light, then you know the body is confused. So make the environment right and make the temperature right. Too hot or too cold is not going to be good. It should be a cool environment. So that's very important. So number 1 was get rid of the stimulants. Number 2 was improve the whole environment. Now number 3, of course, is really to do some of these home treatments that you can do at home. And I would say one of the best is just a good hot bath. You could do a hot bath with salt. If you're a Vata type of person, the salt, of course, Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate, or even sea salt has magnesium in it. We know this relaxes the muscles, relaxes the nervous system, and will help you to sleep. In a sense, you're absorbing the magnesium right through your pores and your skin, getting into your bloodstream, and this can be very effective, taking hot salt baths at night. If you're a heavier person or a kapha person, and you're still having trouble sleeping, you may find getting a half a cup of ginger and putting it in the bath will help you sleep. If you're a pitta person and you tend to be warm and hot, and then you can use a baking soda. So, you know, a warm bath, not too hot because you're already hot, but a baking soda bath, and even ginger and baking soda. But you should experiment with taking these hot baths at night. It's probably one of the best home remedies that you could do to improve your sleep. And the next one is, of course, a massage. Now, the best is if you can do get a massage by another person. The best massage would be a whole body massage with oil. Now, of course, in Ayurveda, there's oils that have herbs in them that are nervines and help the body to relax. So that would be the best. If you massage your entire body with a sesame oil, for example, and it's got nervines in it that are like a passion flower, or ashwagandha, brahmi, and other even sedative herbs that are mixed in the oil, and you massage it over your whole body warm, or better yet, have somebody do it for you, would be the best bet. And that's even more relaxing because you don't have to even move. And this would really, really make you quite tired. So you can go to the store and buy oils that say relaxing massage oil or vata oil, and these will have these nervines in it. So hot bath, then followed by your spouse or partner or lover or yourself, if that's all you've got, and a warm oil massage. But hey, if you can't do the whole oil massage, even a scalp massage, even a head massage, even massaging the feet, particularly with warm oil, not coconut oil. I know coconut oil is good for a lot of things, but you want a warming oil here, you know, on the feet. And of course, other home remedies you could do would be, you know, yoga. Yoga in the morning, meditation in the evening to settle the mind. Because remember, a lot of this anxiety and overthinking and negative thinking is coming from this excess activity of the mind. So, you know, yoga is to steal the mind, find that center point, to observe the mind going, but not be attached to those thoughts, just letting the thoughts roll, and you become distant to and the observer, we should say, of these thoughts. You're no longer attached to the thoughts. You're just watching the mind think of this, think of that, and it no longer affects you. And of course, having faith in a religion, praying to God, putting your faith in God, surrendering to God, this helps very much in relaxing, letting go, not attaching to things. Don't think that you can control things or everything is in your hand. It's better to let go and let it be and have faith in life and be happy, and speaking to yourself like this, positive talk, that things will get better, things are okay. You know, this type of talk is very, very helpful. Now, only other home remedy that I could add would be a pranayama or breathing practices. But even just deep breathing practice, doing that meditation and doing some slow, deep breaths, even just 2 minutes, you know, expand the chest, expand the abdomen, then collapse the abdomen, then collapse the chest, drop the shoulders, and repeat. Expand the chest, bring back the shoulders, take full breaths. You don't need to hold it in this type of practice, and then exhale completely. So that would really be the best home remedy right there, that whole package in a row. You take your hot bath, then you get your oil massage, then do some meditation, then do some breathing. I mean, if that doesn't knock you out by then, I mean, then you're really going to have to resort to some herbs. Now, this talk was about home remedy, but in fact, using herbs is much easier. You can just take the herbs in the day. You could take some like relaxing teas, and these teas are made with you know, relaxing nervine herbs, passion flower, chamomile, lavender, motherwort, oat straw, some little rosemary, rose petals, cinnamon, and stevia to make it taste good. So, you know, that type of tea will really take the edge off you during the day. And if you drink it during the day, these type of relaxing teas, even if you just had passion flower, then you'll find that it's pumping through your blood all the time and helping you relax. Then at night after dinner, you want to have some sedative teas. This one here has got lemon balm, catnip, you know, chamomile, little lavender, some more passion flower, and the real sedatives are the poppy seed and the hops. You know, these are real, you know, strong sedatives, poppy seeds and hops. And then I put in a little lavender, rose hips, and stevia again to make it sweet and taste nice. And those can make you sleepy and start feeling a little heavy, and you're dozing off and a little drooling, and, you know, stops the mind from thinking when you have a little poppy seed tea. Don't smoke that poppy seed. Just have it in tea, folks. but it is very good. And that hops again, and we don't ferment it, turn it into a beer, just make it into a tea. It works just fine. Hops. It doesn't taste very good, so you may want to add some lavender to it. You could even make a little lavender pillow. You can do some lavender essential oil. You know, just relax. This little lavender, you can spray it like that. You can get these little, I got this one here called Panic Attack. And, you know, it's got some nervines in it, and you can get this and, put it right in your nose. You got a mustache like me, you can put it right on the mustache. And, oh, yeah, I'm going to put me to sleep in this talk. I'm definitely relaxed here, just talking away. And there's many Ayurvedic oils which go in the nostrils, nasa they call them, and because the nose is the pathway to the brain. So if you put these herbal oils with these nervines and sedative teas like Brahmi, Sapgandha, Ashwagandha is what we use in Ayurveda, and they're in these oils, and you snort it right in the nose, I tell you, it goes right to the brain there. We'll do a little demo here for you, guys. Right in there. We'll get the other side. Just a couple drops. Work very well. Goes right up into the brain, and helps you relax quite a bit. So using the scents, using these oils into the respiratory system, into the nasal passages is very effective. And there's other massage oils. I didn't bring any out here. I had a little Brahmi ghee, which can also be used to put in the nose. But some of these massage oils, you can massage them just on your feet. I have one massage oil called Vata Relaxing Massage Oil, and I often give it out and just tell people massage it on their feet. In fact, it works very well for children who can't sleep. You can't give them the teas and other herbs. So you just massage a little of this relaxing oil right on their feet, and that really helps them to sleep much better. So, hey, feel free to ask some questions here. I'm just going through the material here. I think I've covered most of it. A few foods to eat. We know avoid all these stimulating foods, but you don't want a lot of sweets and carbohydrates and cookies and chocolate at night. Better to have something with some high fat, a little protein. Avocado is a good snack at night that will help you. I wouldn't say help you to sleep, but you know, it is high in magnesium, and it's got oil in it, so that's a good choice to have an avocado at night. Maybe a little yogurt, but you definitely don't want chocolate, sugar, alcohol. All of these can affect your sleep. Of course, alcohol has initially a sedative effect, and then you wake up later at night. Now, of course, there's other reasons for insomnia. If you have liver problems and liver dysfunction, then you could end up waking up at night due to that. And of course, if you have urinary tract infection, bladder infection, or you could also end up having to wake up at night and urinate. These are separate subjects. We're talking about reducing anxiety, managing stress better, and sleeping better for those that's affecting them. So I hope that gave you some good tips. The 4 points were, just to review: remove all the stimulants, coffee, tea, chocolate, TV, bad news. Improve the environment, make it comfortable, get rid of all the computers, electronics, flashing lights, and sleep on the floor if necessary, turn off the power if necessary. And then 3 is take that hot, warm bath with some salt or ginger and get that oil massage afterwards. Do some meditation, deep breathing. Those will all be very helpful. And number 4 is, take the herbal formulas throughout the day and the evening to further support the nervous system, help you relax, and sedate you to get to sleep. Because once you may have to sedate yourself a first few times. I give people quite strong herbal formulas at first, which are really similar to like a valerian. We use a tagra in Ayurveda, but it's like Indian valerian, and we mix it with some other herbs to smooth it out a little bit. It's a little stinky, and that kind of knocks you out. But I tell people don't use it long term. Just use it for a few days to just, knock yourself out, so to speak, at night. And then once you get that good night's sleep, then you may feel a little heavy the next day, but you have energy the next day, and then you don't need such a strong sedative. Then you can get away with just taking the nervine teas, the relaxing teas in the day, avoiding the sedatives, and taking some of these, avoiding these stimulants in the day. and then taking some of these sedatives after dinner. And don't wait until 11 o'clock to start drinking your sleeping tea or taking your sleeping herbs. You know, start taking these right after dinner to relax. Turn off all lights. Try to just function with candlelight. Get the news off and sit in candlelight and do some meditation, some breathing, relaxing after your hot bath, and hopefully you got a full oil massage. So once again, that was just a review. I hope that gave you plenty of ideas. And you know, if you're having more serious panic attacks or this, you may want to use herbal formulas right away. Otherwise, you go through the steps and try to manage your stress better to reduce your anxiety and then improve your sleep. And of course, if you're having trouble, you need some support, you need the herbal formulas, you need more information about a diet, and you're having digestive problems because these can also affect your sleep, or you're having liver issues waking you up at night, or you're having urinary tract problems, bladder, kidney problems, or you've already burned out and crashed and had adrenal fatigue, then you really should get some professional help, and I'm happy to help you with those. And then once you get to these more serious point, like adrenal fatigue, then you really need some herbal supplements to help you to recover from that condition. So I hope, folks, that helped you out. I hope you sleep better tonight. I hope you turn off your lights, turn off your TV after this webinar, and put on some candlelight, put on some relaxing, calming music, spray lavender in the air, and relax and sleep good. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, and feel free to contact me if you'd like more assistance with your health.